This film, I mean, there hasn't been a Texas Chainsaw since 2017. That was the last one. It was called Leatherface, and we hated it. We didn't like it on this show. It had Steven Dorff in it. That's the only thing I remember about it.
I don't even remember that. I thought Alexander Daddario was in the last one.
That's the last good one.
Trey Songz, right?
Certainly, that's definitely the last Texas Chainsaw Massacre that gave me a boner.
Not this one?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm very amused by that. Alexander Daddario, good lord, I see her everywhere now. She's having a little career for herself.
Yeah, you follow her on Instagram?
Yeah, of course I do. I gotta be honest.
She is amazing.
There are two women in this movie that I followed on Instagram before watching this movie.
In this movie?
Yes.
What?
Yes, I swear.
I don't know the main girl from anything. Sarah Yarkin? I didn't know her.
Okay, Sarah Yarkin. By the way, you know that we're talking about a major motion picture when the first billed actor is Sarah Yarkin.
It's crazy. She's ahead of Elsie Fisher, right? I thought this was like the Elsie Fisher movie.
Ahead of Elsie Fisher. She has 8th grade. She was like nominated for an Oscar.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know.
Which is a great movie.
Girl got ahead of her. I mean, I hope everyone's seen that. But if you haven't, yeah, that's a huge recommendation. Great film. And I thought she was good in this. I actually think the cast in general is pretty good in this Texas Chainsaw movie.
Yeah, it's all right.
All right. So Sarah Yarkin, I knew her from a sitcom. I saw her on this thing, Single Parents, which was Liz Merriweather's follow-up to New Girl. And I thought she was cute. You know, listen, if you throw a hot girl with a Jufro and something, I'm probably going to follow her on Instagram.
Yeah. I mean, it said she was in Happy Death Day, the second one, which I saw, and I don't remember
saw the
her.
First one.
Yeah, I don't remember her in that, but
we should cover that.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's good. I enjoyed her in the movie, and but let's talk about the behind the scenes shit. So Lionsgate had the rights to the last couple of Texas Chainsaw movies, and apparently they didn't make another one in time, and so the rights reverted back to the producers, who sold them to a company called Legendary, which is like a major company that works under the Warner Brothers umbrella, I believe, or at least they used to before the weird sex scandal with the girl, that girl with Asperger's. You know about that?
No, who's the girl with Asperger's?
There's this girl with Asperger's. She's like a model with Asperger's.
Okay.
And she's only like 22 years old or something. And she has ruined the career. I mean, it's not her fault. Like, good on her, honestly. But she has ruined the careers of at least 3 major Hollywood executives that I know of just through sex scandals.
I think you have talked about this.
She keeps getting Hollywood executives to like give her money to like get her roles for sex and shit.
Wow.
And it keeps coming out, and a lot of people are in trouble because of her. And so she's got some like people in Hollywood angry with her, but she recently married the guy who directed The Descent and that fucking Hellboy movie with David Harbour, Neil Marshall. And so he's trying to like help her navigate the bad men of Hollywood now.
Well, good for that guy.
Anyway, I'm obsessed with this lady with Asperger's.
Okay.
I think her name's Charlotte Kirk. That might be right. Anyway, fucking Legendary gets the rights. That's the end of the story. They ask Fede Alvarez, who directed Don't Breathe, if he has any interest in being involved in the movie, and he's like, I obviously have better things to do than writing and directing a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, but I'll put my name on it as a producer if you'd like.
What's he doing?
And Don't Breathe 2, presumably. I saw that.
Yeah, he could have made that in this, though, if he really wanted to.
But what? That would be a bad move for him. Like, it's an interesting thing for him to do, to like become a producer and produce a movie. Like, for the guy who directed Don't Breathe to follow up that movie with a Texas Chainsaw reboot about influencers, that would be terrible.
Well, you know what else he did, right? Didn't he do that Evil Dead remake?
Yeah, which I didn't like.
You really
And he
didn't like
did
that.
that. He did the girl in the spider's web too.
I never saw that. Yeah, maybe he should have stayed away from this. You're right. But he had
What
like
a
a story credit.
franchise hero.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does have a story credit with his partner, Rodrigo. What's his name?
I don't know.
Sayages.
Sure.
Rodo Sayages. That's his name. Um, so they hired these Irish fellas, a brother team, Randy and Andy. Oh, they're not. Sorry, Ryan and Andy. I wish they were Randy and Andy. Ryan and Andy Tohill. Okay,
Okay.
they're gonna direct the movie. They prepped the whole thing for months and they cast the entire movie. Then they go to film it, not in Texas. I know you were wondering if they would maybe film in Texas, considering it's Texas Chainsaw Massacre. No, they filmed in Bulgaria.
What? This movie is
Yeah,
filmed in Bulgaria?
yeah,
I had
in
no idea.
Bulgaria. They filmed it on a soundstage. They built this town on a soundstage in Bulgaria, and
Wow, fooled me.
yeah. So they fired Randy and Andy after like only a few days. They were like, "This footage that's coming back looks like utter trash. Fuck you guys."
Aw.
and uh and so after all that work casting all those actors and shit, they get fucking shit canned. And you'd think they would hire like a guy with experience after that, but no, they like went with another indie guy, this fella David Blue Garcia. I assume to his friends he's David Azul Garcia.
That's pretty good.
But thank you, he's from Texas. um so when they asked him to film a Texas Chainsaw Massacre, maybe he thought that he was just filming it the next town over, but no, he had to fly to Bulgaria. A man from Texas had to fly to Bulgaria to direct Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
That's
I
pretty
just wanted
funny.
to say that.
He brought his Confederate
Yeah,
flag though, so they could use it as a prop in the movie.
yeah, I bet it was his for sure.
Yeah.
um and he's working with writer Chris Thomas Devlin. Sadly, he is not related to Geostorm director Dean Devlin,
Mm.
but this is only writing credit. He actually had a movie a few years ago called Cobweb that was like on the blacklist of the best unproduced screenplays, but it's still gone unproduced. So this is his first credit. I'm thinking we can maybe get this guy on the show. Logan, reach out to this fella for an interview.
For what? To talk about this movie?
Yeah, we can ask him about the making of the. We can ask him like, what happened to those fucking Randy and Andy fellas?
We can ask him about the bus scene where he kills all those people on the bus. How they did that?
Everyone's gonna ask about that. That's the only scene
Yeah.
anyone talks about.
Oh, really?
Um, yeah, I looked at some of the reviews and it's just like, one review even said, I thought it was actually clever, that this movie's destined to be remembered as a 3-minute YouTube clip called Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022 bus scene.
That's actually my least favorite part of the whole movie
That's ridiculous.
because it takes. Well, we'll get into it. Keep going.
You know what the best kill in this movie is?
What's that?
When he breaks that one dude's arm and then stabs him
Yes.
in the neck with his arm bone.
Yes, I'd never seen that before in a movie. That was really cool.
That was crazy. Yeah, I've never seen that either.
It is rare when you see something you've never seen before in a movie, and I have never seen that before.
There's been hundreds of slasher movies, just hundreds. The video stores are littered. I mean, there are no video stores, but streaming services are littered. There's Shudder. That's an entire streaming service devoted to bullshit slasher movies. But like, yeah, so it really does take a lot to show me something I've never seen before at this point, and I had never fucking seen that shit.
And then it's immediately stupid when he shoots the driver, because of course you need like some crazy Rube Goldberg stuff to happen. But yeah,
no,
that was
but
so
I actually
cool.
dug that scene. That's one of the better sequences in the movie. Actually, that police van goes like hurtling off into that sort of the dead sunflower field, and then there's that bit of him like dismantling one of the bodies, and she's still alive, and then
But why did she go on that trip with them? Like, why did they say, "Hey, friend, go with these weirdos on the ambulance to the like"? Why did she go with them?
I'll explain it, bitch, because this movie has explanations for its plot points, unlike that last shitty movie we watched.
Okay,
I mean,
sorry.
this movie's shitty too, by the way, but I can at least explain shit that happens.
Okay.
So okay, this brings us to the premise of the movie. Actually, it's two major influencers played by Sarah Yarkin and Jacob Lattimore, who's on The Shy on Showtime, another really good actor. They have like bought a dead town in Texas,
Hmm.
and they're going to try to refurbish it as sort of like a hot new hipster village for like influencers, like sort of like a Burning Man kind of a situation.
Yeah, kind of.
And yeah, and you know what it actually reminded me of? Reddit Island. Do you know about that?
No, is that a movie?
No, it's a real island that was gonna happen. People on Reddit, like incels, were trying to buy a private island for a while, and then they got funding from some sort of rich person on the internet, and then it turned out that he was scamming them, and
Oh
they
my
all
gosh.
lost all their money.
Like a fire
Yeah, they're
festival situation?
sort of like that. Yeah, they're apparently a documentary about it and a scripted thing, or they're both in development because everything is being made into a movie now,
Wow.
or a TV show. So they're renting out this town. That's the point. And when they get there, there's one person still remaining. Everyone was supposed to vacate the town like months ago. It's this old lady, played by this girl from Star Trek, and she is like running an orphanage,
Yeah.
and she comes down. She's real weird, and she vomits, and so they're gonna take her to the hospital. The cops are gonna take her to the hospital. Sarah Yarkin feels for this lady because she's starting to have second thoughts about like we're gentrifying this town, we're fucking with the lives of people who have been here forever. Now that she's there, she's really questioning her motives for being there, and so she wants to go with the lady to the hospital. All right, but there's a bus full of influencers on the way, Logan. They need to check out the town, and they're supposed to be getting a tour from Sarah Yarkin and Jacob Lattimore. All right? So, Jacob Lattimore's girlfriend, this blonde lady, says, I'll tell you what, Yarkin, to make you feel better, since I don't need to be here for the tour, I'll go to the hospital. All right? Have I explained it?
You explained it. I get it now. I actually didn't get that before, but I would still not go. There's no way I'm just gonna go spend my day. You know how long that would take? You're just gonna go hang out and spend your day with these weirdos you don't even know instead of like doing something cool and like being there when they start this town. No
I
way.
mean, is what they're doing cool though? Like they get there, the first thing that happens is like an old lady vomits on you. Like I would get the fuck out of that town. Like you've already been chased down the road by some weirdo named Richter in a huge truck spewing black smoke. You've been warned at a gas station, of course, by a fellow who's like, "Hey, Leatherface was around here. He fucking murdered tons of people with a chainsaw." And still they go in.
But you're staying there
So I
with.
don't mind.
There's like more
I think
people
the movie
coming
is to
though.
go to the hospital. I would rather go to the hospital with this woman. I think
Yeah.
I would have survived this situation too.
What are you
I would
talking
have
about?
played dead in that car. He
How?
wasn't going to kill her. He was not going to kill her. He thought she was dead. All right? What happened was you were even that moment, remember like the sheriff chokes, right? And he walks over to like see whether he's alive. She plays dead. And he believes that she's dead and he kills the sheriff. He whacks him in the head with a big mallet, all right? But
Hmm.
then I don't know why I'm so into this dumb movie.
I like it.
um okay, but so she waits, right? And she
Yeah.
watches Leatherface drag the fellow who's got stabbed in the neck with his own arm.
Hmm.
He drags that guy out of view, right? And it's in that moment she's like, okay, I don't see him anymore. I'm gonna open the car and get out and try to run away. Motherfucker, stay in that car the entire day. Stay dead play dead in that car for 20 fucking 4 hours, and then go find your friends. All right? Are you
I
kidding me?
I don't think Leatherface was gonna let them live though. I think he was taking off that girl's face and putting it on his face. That's all he was doing, and then he was gonna kill him.
I'm He thought she was dead. If she played dead, she'd be the sole survivor of this film. I got
Dead,
news for you.
dead from what? From the crash? He thought she just died from that. I
Yes,
don't think so.
I think
I don't
so.
think so.
He
Not
doesn't know
enough
what happened in that
chainsaw in
front
this movie.
seat. I actually agree with that. It's a Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Give me some more chainsaw.
Yeah, he kills like the one girl with the chainsaw, but that's basically it. The
It's because he's so big in this movie. Like he's big in the original, but in this movie, it's doing the thing where he's like it's like the Blumhouse Halloween movie
yeah.
where they're like ignoring all the Texas Chainsaw sequels and making this a direct sequel to the original. So he's been in this orphanage all these years, and he's like a 60-year-old man now,
But in the
and
first one, isn't it? It's a real family, right?
yeah, they're a
It's like a
family, but
crazy
I don't.
grandpa and like this
And
baby.
he's like a big dumb R word, but like, but I mean that was the trope they were going for. But now I really feel like he's built like fucking. He looks like the Great Khali or something.
Yeah, I didn't really notice his size that he was that much bigger. Did they get Kane
He's
hotter for this
huge.
one?
Forget Kane Hodder. He looks like fucking Kane, the Undertaker's brother.
Yeah. Is there a See No Evil too?
There is, yeah.
Oh, we gotta do that
We
with
could,
Tim.
we should do that, yeah. So they the other weird thing about it is everyone's dead from that original movie. Like it's fun in these Halloween movies when they bring back Jamie Lee Curtis because Halloween was really her first big movie and then she became like a huge movie star. So when she goes back to Halloween, we get to look at Jamie Lee Curtis and go, "Hey, it's our girl
Yeah.
returning to her roots. Yay." Whereas like in this movie, they bring back the character Sally from the original, but Marilyn Burns died like 10 years ago.
Yeah,
So
look,
like
she died right after the Dario one. That was pretty sad.
yeah, and she's in that one, isn't she?
Yeah, I
I
looked
think
that
she
up.
shows up in that one.
Hmm.
But yeah, this is just like some old lady like playing the Sally
I thought she was
character.
okay though.
I
She
thought
she
she
does
was
it well.
okay. The performance was fine. I just felt like it didn't belong in this movie. It was weird.
I agree.
I don't think it was a significant enough sequel. Like if you're gonna do a 40-year later sequel to Texas Chainsaw Massacre, then have it be the story of Sally. Like cast a major actor in that role and have her be the star of the movie. I don't think you can do all of this shit with like influencers buying a small town. Like that's just a silly Texas Chainsaw sequel, which is fine. Like as these things go, I actually do think this is better than probably 3 or 4 of the other Texas Chainsaw sequels at least. But like it doesn't feel significant enough. It doesn't earn the presence of that iconic character.
Okay, so the reason I didn't like the bus thing, so they set this up like it's gonna be all these influencers in this town. So I thought, have you seen Piranha 3D?
Full title, please.
Is it not called Piranha 3D?
Oh, I'm sorry. The original, the sequel is 3DD, of course.
Right, but I'm talking about the first one, through Piranha 3D.
Okay, yeah, got it.
Okay, so in that one, like basically it's like takes place during spring break, and it's like a bunch of teenagers go to spring break, a bunch of people get killed. So I thought this was kind of going to be like that. A bunch of teenagers come to this place, and then a bunch of them die. But then that all takes place like in a
That would be
bus.
cool. What if this movie was just the Fire Festival?
That's
But
what I kind of
fucking-
thought. I thought it would sort of be cooler with like a bunch of different deaths. But then that all takes
It's
place
actually not
in
a
a
bad
bus.
idea.
And then the rest is like the woman shows up from the first one, and then they're like fighting in water, and then it gets stupid. I was like on board for the premise, and then it doesn't really follow that.
But you can't do it because none of those people are characters. Like none of them even have lines. They're just random people on a bus the whole movie.
Then make that the
There's
movie.
really-
Make them have lines.
yeah,
I'm saying
I know.
change the whole
But-
movie around.
All right, well,
That's what they
that's
should
not
have
what they
done.
did.
I know.
Why was the movie so short? Did you notice that?
I did notice that, but it felt long.
I don't think it felt long.
It didn't feel like an hour 20.
This is an hour 23 when I put it on without closing credits. Like when the moment the movie ends is an hour and 13 minutes in. That is
Oh my
aggressively
God.
short.
That's
Yeah.
absurd. Yeah, that's like shorter than the Toy Story movie.
I couldn't believe it. And then there's a closing credit sequence, but it's just like fucking Leatherface roaming around.
Oh, I didn't watch that. I didn't notice.
It's just him walking through the town. He's still alive, but you know he's still alive because there's that dumb shock ending. Like I Know What You Did Last Summer, where they like kill the main character for no reason.
Or Nightmare on Elm Street, right, where they sucker through the door.
Oh yeah, for sure. But that's like a dream sequence. Ultimately, they can get
Right.
away with that in Nightmare on Elm Street because it's a dream sequence. You can't get away with it in this
I
movie.
was
Like they
shocked at the
beheaded the
end.
main character.
Were you
Yeah,
surprised?
I mean, I was surprised, and I think it's a cool scene. But I think that it sort of hurts the rest of the movie.
Yeah. Were you sad? Did you feel any sadness at all when she died?
Well, yeah, I thought they might bring back Hot Girl with a Jufro for a sequel.
No. Maybe Elsie though. Well, maybe we'll see her. I hope not. I hope she does other stuff. I really hope so. Do not come back,
Yeah,
Elsie Fisher.
I wish for better things for you, Elsie Fisher.
Yeah. What'd you think about the other some of the other kills? He has a meat cleaver for a little bit of this movie. That's like before he gets the his
Well,
chainsaw.
he's a butcher. I thought that the skin mask looked too skinny to me. Like I mean, like it was too good. It was gross.
How does that stay on his face?
I wondered that
Does he like
myself.
glue it? Is it like paper mache?
In in my brain, in my head canon, I always thought he pinned it. Like,
Ooh.
cause pain doesn't matter to him, right? So,
I
but
feel like
in
it's so
this
thin it
movie,
would rip through the pins though.
I noticed something in this film,
Oh,
Logan.
yeah.
He pulls a little piece of it over his ear.
Oh, like a
At
mask.
the first time we see him put it on, he pulls a little piece of it over his ear. So he's fashioned himself a little strap,
Wow. I'd never
maybe
known
using
about
some
that.
sinew.
That's pretty impressive actually. All right, I guess you answered that question. All right, that great job.
I can answer any question about this movie you got. This is a perfectly constructed film.
Come on. What do you think about the fact that Elsie Fisher was in a school shooting?
Oh my god. Well, the movie was like very, very sort of trying to be very present, you know? And it's
Yes.
funny, it's actually a little old at this point because the movie was written in 2019 and filmed in early 2020,
Oh my god.
or a filmed the summer 2020 summer, and then it was gonna come out on in theaters, and apparently they had bad test screenings, and then Netflix bought it. So it's a heavily delayed movie. And what was the original question?
But something about school shoot. Oh, she's in a school shooting.
Oh yeah, yeah, right. So like maybe school shootings were like really hot at the time, but you know what? In America though, school shootings are evergreen, right?
Yeah.
They're happening
Yeah.
all the
Sadly.
time. There's always an
But
exciting new school shooting.
I thought there was gonna be a thing where she had played dead in the school shooting, and that's how she lived, and she was gonna learn to play dead again in this, and that's how she was gonna live again. But then that doesn't happen. It's just
I
that doesn't really
I
come into
thought
play at all.
they painted her as being a little fucked up at first, and I thought that she was gonna end up becoming Leatherface's apprentice.
Oh my god.
I really did. That part where she's like smoking a cigarette like by herself and Leatherface is like watching her. I was like, huh, interesting.
I bet you can find some Rule 34 for that scene.
Oh, I fucking hope not. I don't even know if she's of age. Jesus. But yeah,
Oh, that's a good
the
question.
school shooting survivor is like I. By the way, I had it pegged right from the beginning. Like they show her with like a bullet wound at one point, like very very early on when they're at the gas station, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh my god, she's a school shooting survivor, definitely.
I didn't think that. Wow, you're
I
incredible.
did. It just seemed like something this movie would do. Can I say something? I dated a girl. This is a weird story. I dated this girl who had gone to Parkland, that school in Florida
Yeah.
where there was that really bad school shooting.
Hmm.
Much worse than the other school shootings where only a few kids died.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking hell. So I went. So I dated this girl, and it was we started dating before the school shooting happened. Okay, and then the school shooting happened, and she was like, "I'm an alum of that school," and then she like sort of made that her entire personality. Like she was constantly reaching out to people from her old elementary school, and every time I hung out with her we talked about Parkland and the different sort of benefits that were happening for Parkland,
How old
and
is
it just
she?
seemed weird. She's like 30.
Okay.
Like why are you traumatized by a school shooting that happened at your school like 12 years after you graduated?
Did she have like siblings or anything?
No, nothing. She like barely knew anybody that was still down there. You know, it's in Florida. I
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know
It
either.
was weird. It ultimately it was part of what led to us not seeing each other anymore.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you got out of that.
Yeah. I couldn't listen to this fucking school shooting talk anymore. It's like dating Alex Jones.
You're like, yeah, and it's not. Yeah, she wasn't even there. Come on. But this
Yeah.
has a 4.8 on IMDb. Ghostbusters Afterlife 7.2 on IMDb. That's crazy.
I'm here to tell you that this Netflix Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a much better movie than Ghostbusters.
Much
It's not even a
better.
slightly better movie.
It's
Yeah,
slightly better.
it's much better.
No, come on. I mean, what is there to talk about with this? He kills the people on a
I mean,
bus.
nothing. It's an hour
They
and
record
13
him.
minutes. There's barely a movie here.
Yeah. Um, I mean, 2 stars, right?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna give it. Are there any other characters that we didn't discuss? Any
No.
important people?
Dante, the
Richter, you know,
who's Richter? The guy with the truck.
he was that. Yeah, yeah.
He got killed pretty
Dante, yeah, I
brutally.
guess.
All the kills are pretty brutal,
Yeah,
actually. I thought.
yeah. There's a little too much CGI in the kills, but for the most part, they're all right.
Yeah, Dante gets his like face cut, and I don't think that looks so great.
Yeah. What was that pun he made about his name Dante? That was funny.
He made a pun about his name. I don't
Yeah.
remember that.
All right. Whatever. Anyway,
They said this is Dante's peak right here. Did they say that
no, but that would have been
today?
good.
This is my peak. Oh, I don't
Um.
know then.
All right. So yeah, it's a two. Who's your MVP?
I guess Elsie Fisher, but not really. Like she's okay.
No, Sarah Yarkin, baby. She carries this bad boy.
They're both okay. They're both fine. I want to see them again. I thought they were charming-ish.
She's
They were
great.
okay.
Look at those eyebrows. What a beautiful Sephardic face.
She sort of reminded me of Arrested Development girl.
Yeah, maybe she's the next generation of maybe Bluth.
Yeah, it reminded me of her.
Alia Shawkat. You should watch Search Party. That's a great show with Alia Shawkat in it.
Yeah, that's actually the show I was thinking of. Who's
Yeah.
your LVP?
Or watch Transparent if you want to see Alia Shawkat naked having a three-way.
Oh, I do want to see that. Um,
Or you can just watch the GIFs like I have with Dirty Grandpa.
yeah, you guys could do that. I've seen a lot of Alexander Daddario True Detective gifs.
Well, that show's worth watching. Actually, there are other good scenes. That
Yeah,
is undeniably the best scene, but there are other good scenes.
yeah, Woody. Yeah. Um. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, who's the LVP? Nobody's terrible.
Um. Yeah, I guess so. Nobody is really terrible. I gotta give it that. I'll
Is it
go
the
with
girl at the beginning, the woman that dies, that chokes?
who chokes? Who chokes?
She gets taken to the hospital. She's like the woman that won't leave her house. Or is it one of the
Oh yeah.
cops? Maybe the cop that's driving that gets shot.
No, I liked those scenes. The earlier scenes with the cops are like probably my favorite part of the movie, to be honest. And all cops are
What? Where they
bastards,
pull
and
him
they all
over?
die. Yeah, that part where they put like from the part at the gas station up through when the blonde woman dies. That part of the movie. I was like, this is a solid Texas Chainsaw. I feel like I might give it a 3. I feel like it's gonna be high on my Texas Chainsaw rankings, and then it sort of like fell down into like the doldrums of normal Texas Chainsaw movies. But yeah, I was sort of into it for a while.
Yeah. You to go
Yeah.
Leatherface LVP?
No, I think the answer is probably the old lady, or if you want to stretch, there's this character Catherine who they try to set up as like maybe Jacob Lattimore's into her, and Sarah Yarkin's a little jealous at first, but like nothing comes of that character. She's just the only one of the influencers that has any lines.
I don't even know who you're talking about, but I'll go with that
She's like
person.
a hot black lady. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, she's in the bus for a little. Yeah, yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I'll go
yeah.
with her actually. Yeah,
All right, yeah. She's hot, but what are you gonna do?
yeah, whatever. Um, or the blonde girl for getting in that ambulance. What a dummy.
No, that she first. I like that character. I like that actor. I looked her up also, and she's British, and I did not notice that. So congratulations on your American accent. No, she's definitely not the LVP.
All right. Well then it's the other girl. Congratulations.
Yep, congrats to her. And look out for more Dante's Peak on And Twins, and look out for Chris Thomas Devlin on a future episode of the franchise. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Well, that's it. That's it for this episode. Fucking, that was fun.
Oh, did we rank these? I didn't rank them
I
because I
don't
haven't
need
seen them. But
to.
did you rank them? What about did you
Um,
rank Ghostbusters? This is a lot. This is the worst one.
it's the worst Ghostbusters. Yeah, I'll definitely take Lady Ghostbusters over this one. As for Texas Chainsaw, I'll tell you the ones that are better than this one. The original,
Yeah.
Texas Chainsaw 2, um, and the Daddario one.
Well, that's
And
it.
then I think this one's like as good as that one with Viggo Mortensen.